Well, each year the Israeli police open some 20,000 cases of domestic abuse, though women's groups say the figure is much higher, as many victims are reluctant to report their husbands or partners. This year so far, 17 women have been murdered in cases defined as femicide at the hands of partners or abusers, a pace significantly higher than the previous 2 years. Now, one response came today when Israel's cabinet approved a law to place electronic monitoring bracelets on alleged abusers in order to make it easier for authorities to enforce restraining orders against them. But that law has had a controversial passage over the past few months after National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir torpedoed a previous version of it back in March, a version that he had previously backed, claiming he now wanted a, quote, more balanced version of the measure that would also protect the rights of those accused of the abuse. So is the new version approved today, quote, more balanced, more effective? Well, joining us for more is Anita Friedman, the chairperson of the World WITSO and a women's rights activist. She speaks to us from Tel Aviv. Anita, thank you for joining us. So let's look at this new law. Is it an effective response, especially considering some of the discussions around it over the past in recent years?
Well, we have been implemental and influential. We played a key role in making sure that drafting this bill and bringing it to the different governments. We have been lobbying for the past 10 years for this law and for this monitoring to be accepted by the Knesset. We are very happy and we commend the Minister of National Security for leading this initiative, but we're still far away from it. It's only the first call, and we need 2 more calls for this to become law. Also, one of the good things is they decided to go back on the decision to bring this law about only for men that were convicted twice, which would have rendered this law completely unuseful. And now they give also the judges the opportunity to, even before they do the danger assessment, to make sure that these men have increased electronic surveillance. What this does is makes sure that the women and children don't have to leave their house. Look, for the past 40 years, we've had the shelters for abused women, which was part of the solution, but it's not enough. And we have to adapt to the new world, and with technology, we can do that. We can make sure that these women and children can stay put where they are and they don't face violence. So this is good. We also still need to establish a professional system to make sure that the courts of law know when there's danger, when the person has been deemed dangerous enough to make sure that he uses this electronic surveillance. And also, we need to establish the technological and professional system for the operation of this electronic supervision. So, as I said, we come 2 steps forward, but we're still not there yet. It's a blessed situation that they decided to pass the law. So we're very happy about that.
As you said, it still has to go to final passage in Parliament, but it assumes really was Minister Ben-Gvir who had prevented it last time from moving forward. So we're going to presume it moves forward. As you said, one thing the law does is it knocked out the requirement that the alleged abuser in a specific case had to have had a prior conviction. It allows some latitude to judges to decide if there's immediate danger to the woman. But let's be honest, some of the judges in Israel have been criticized by women's groups and others about some of the individual decisions that they've made in these kind of cases. How confident are you about this judgment?
So part of the process is that we've managed to make sure that when a person like this comes in front of the judge is obliged to send them to therapy. Because we also talk about prevention. It's not enough to take care of the men when they already become violent. We need to work holistically with the whole problem. So we did have some strides forward. The judges have to send the man to therapy, and they do have the ability to decide, even if the assessment of danger is not there yet, if they deem the situation dangerous enough, they can make sure that this person gets the electronic supervision, and then they can ask for the assessment later. So you're right, we're making slow steps towards the best way of managing this plight, this epidemic.
Right.
Like we call.
All right, and as I said before, we've seen, unfortunately, a rise in the number of cases, especially fatal cases. So hopefully this will have some impact on that. Anita Friedman from World Reach, so thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Khaled.